I'm in my mid-20s right now. I started my first business technically when I was 19, but growing it in my 20s. And now I make almost $200,000 a year doing what I love. And today I want to share with you some principles that I've learned along the way about what's the best type of businesses to start in your 20s to not just optimize for money and financial wealth, but your growth and skills as well. What's going to actually build up your knowledge base in order for you to live a thriving life, to build a career that allows you freedom, flexibility in terms of time, in terms of course finances, but also allowing you to pivot when you feel like it, because now we kind of don't want to just be funneled into one narrow career path. We kind of want to have the flexibility to choose, adapt, and evolve as our interests change. And now with the rise of technology, of AI, of social media, you get exposure to a lot of different things. Being able to be seen by other people and to grow your business that way, or in terms of learning new skills, you have so many opportunities and softwares and tools that you can leverage to build an amazing, even one-person business. So the first thing I wanted to share is an advice that my dad actually shared with me when I was in high school thinking about what degree to choose for university. Because he is a business person. He started a lot of different businesses, some successful, others, I don't really know. He doesn't really talk about those ones. But he told me one thing is don't study a business degree if you want to be a business owner. You study a business degree if you want to help other people manage their businesses. If you want to start your own business, first of all, hone in on a skill that is monetizable and then just do it. Work with clients and you will figure out the business around it. And that has been really true. So for me, the first thing that I was able to hone in on is a skill, which is graphic design. To be specific, it is branding and website. Creating brands like logos, color palettes, fonts, the whole visual suite for a business, and then translating that into a website. And also things that branch off of that, for example, like packaging or pitch decks, all of that good stuff. That is something that has been pivotal in allowing me to become very easily hireable, because I have a portfolio of work and I have a robust skill set that is applicable to any business right now in the 21st century. Every single business, they need a few things. They need a brand, they need a website, and they usually need some sort of marketing vehicle, usually social media. And my whole skill set, it kind of covers all the key aspects of that. So having a skill set and then trying to build knowledge equity, but also to be able to have social equity around that. So what that means is to be known for something by other people. So for me, first of all, I started by just letting family and friends know that I was doing graphic design. I also tried to be more active within uni. So I studied 2 degrees. I studied a degree in visual communications, which is graphic design, but I also did a second degree in this thing called Bachelor of Creative Intelligence and Innovation, which is just a funky way of saying like entrepreneurship. So it's about entrepreneurship and creative thinking and problem solving. So in that degree, I was known for being a graphic designer, and it was all about launching startups and things like that. So I have quite a lot of friends in different like kind of startup industries, and I was to be able to build the confidence of being known as a graphic designer in that space. And I also kind of put my hand up to be a graphic designer for like different events in social societies, and then also putting my hand up to volunteer for different like, internship opportunities. We had guest lecturers come in, and I just said, can I intern at your company as a designer? Things like that slowly grows your network. And then when I left that job, they actually connected me with their friend from university who was operating a startup, and I became their brand and web designer. And they were my first big client. So developing a skill, building like a social network around it, sharing with other people that this is what you do, this is what you want to do, and then start to build like a service-based business, I think is what is the easiest way to get started and the fastest way to hone your skills and confidence as well. And when I started, it was just like freelancing, but I positioned myself as a business. I registered a business name, I had an ABN, Australian business number, and I had like formal contracts, proposals, invoices in place. And that really helps you to ground yourself and not feel like an imposter. It's really hard, especially when you're in 20s, you feel like the youngest person in the room. For a lot of those like brand strategy sessions that I facilitated, I did have this looming sense of imposter syndrome, because I literally like did a course like 2 nights ago on like how to host a brand strategy workshop, and then here I am talking to literally like CEOs, COOs, like marketing managers. But what you need to know is that they are working with you for a reason, because they can't do what it is that you can. They don't have your skill set. So to be in those rooms where you are the youngest person is actually a sign that you are doing the right thing, because I can learn a lot from them, and I'm also able to kind of bypass like the things that hold you back if you were in a conventional 9 to 5 like corporate role or just like a studio, because you are limited by your position. If you're a junior designer, you do this. If you're a midweight designer, you do that. If you're a senior designer, you do this. If you're a creative director, you do that. And then everyone's of course under the founder or the lead creative director. But when you're freelancing, you get to be the lead graphic designer straight away, and you get to talk to business owners from that role, be able to kind of leapfrog those middle sections and position yourself as an expert straight away. And so I literally, my first and only 9 to 5 job was a junior designer, but now I'm sure if I was to be hunting for a job, I will be able to get senior design roles very easily because of the work that I put out there. I'm literally doing the job of a creative director. So that is the first step, skills. Second step, building social equity. Third step is selling it as a service. And then number 4 is when you can productize your knowledge. That is something that kind of crystallizes what you've been working on up until this point. And when you are selling your service, you are essentially trading your time for money. Then you will hit burnout. In the beginning of freelancing, you're going to be stressed about money. Once you are quite experienced, you have a skill set that you're known for, word of mouth brings new clients in, and what you are most stressed about is not having enough time. You have a lot of clients that you want to please, you want to do your best job, especially if it's a skill that you are passionate about in the first place. That's fundamental. But then you're going to reach a time cap where you literally want to take on more clients, but you just feel like you're exhausted. So then it's starting to actually publish content on YouTube. Like what I'm doing now is you're trying to scale yourself. You're trying to help as many people as possible, because when I'm working with clients, because it is such a one-on-one customized, like tailored service, I'm only working with like a handful of clients at a time. But the thing is, the skills that I've gathered in the last 7 years is actually applicable to so many other businesses. So now what you can actually start doing is to share your knowledge, to help other people, and you can package it, whether in terms of digital products, like I have some invoice templates that I sell, be it courses. Right now I'm doing coaching, and I have a course on freelancing on how to make your first 10K a month. I have website templates for freelancers, proposal templates for freelancers, like sales deck templates for freelancers. Like these are all things that I have developed, refined, and figured out what worked for me, and I've been able to productize it. And so now I can develop kind of this as a side hobby, but also something to kind of wrap all my knowledge in and help more people. And you might realize that actually this is something that brings you even more joy and fulfillment, to coach people that were just like you, to teach people how to actually go about this journey. And this way you can also take a step back on your one-on-one services as well, while keeping income stable. And with these more productized, knowledge-based businesses, like selling courses, your coaching, like having a flagship course that can help people, having all sorts of templates that can help people, now you realize you can actually take a step back and start to enjoy life a little bit more, or to be able to have a more bird's eye view and to be able to explore other challenges, and you're in a really good spot. There is that saying which makes a lot of sense: the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, the next best time is now. And if you start in your 20s, you'll be amazed in your 30s the foundation that you've built and the flexibility and the options you will have available to you. If you're curious about how I went from literally making zero money as a freelancer to making consistent 10K plus months, almost 200K this year, then you might want to check out my 10K month masterclass, where it's a live workshop that I dive into everything I kind of talked to you about in more systemized details. I share with you my templates for my sales decks, my proposals, and just give you a behind the scenes look at how everything works, how every piece of the puzzle come together, and have the actual blueprint for you to follow if you are interested in this type of business model progression of having a skill, developing into a service, and then productizing your knowledge so that you have more passive income. If all that sounds interesting to you, scan the QR code on the left right here, and I'll see you there. Investing in yourself is the best thing you can do in your 20s. And I think starting a business, especially if it's built around something that you're passionate about. And I look around me, and unfortunately, a lot of my friends, they're stuck in a career that they do not love. And the thought of having to do a career pivot, doing another round of interviews, of job applications, it is quite dreadful and I think debilitating. Once you start your own business, you build your own skills, you become indispensable in other people's businesses, and you just have a lot of options and freedom down the line. And I wish that for you as well. If you found this video helpful, I know you also love this one on the left right here. We also have a podcast version if you prefer listening on the go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.